Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Hello everyone. My name is Mohamed. Coming from cybersecurity experience background. During my experience, I get a chance to use Elastic a lot. Also, I get a chance to pass the 3 certificate. If you don't know, Elastic provide 3 type of certification. If you want to validate your experience and knowledge, then they have Elastic Engineering, Observability, and Analyst. And also they have a cool a program for the contributor. If you want to contribute back to the community by like creating a content or creating an issue, then they have this program. You submit your contribution, and by the end of the year you will get cool stuff. In our demo today, we will have an intro to Generative AI, and we will dive into RAG and the prompt engineering, and finally we will talk about the data privacy and the cost. And also during the presentation, I have 3 demos or 3 labs to show. Before we dive, let's agree on some terminology. I know you're already familiar with a few or all of them, but AI for short, or artificial intelligence, is the art or the science behind teaching computer quote-unquote to think. And to be able to leverage that, we need to use some algorithms, such as machine learning algorithm. Neural network, it's a type of machine learning model inspired by human neurons. It's neurons and connectors. The neural network is one of the type of the machine learning. Transformer model, we will talk in details about the transformer model, because all the generative AI and LLM turn around the transformer model. But in short, it's an architecture for neural network to analyze language that considers as word relationship and the context. The LLM, it's also a machine learning model that's created with the transformer. So the LLM based on the transformer model, and it uses a huge amount of data to train the model. Generative AI, it's what me, you, and everyone hear about it now with ChatGPT or Gemini from Google. It's the application where we use it almost daily to ask questions. It's for like to generate a code or to generate a text or email or whatever. Right. Another point, we saw that the LLM is based on the transformer model, and the transformer model based on the LLM on the transformer model, and the transformer model based on the neural network. So basically, they both, or the LLM is not the database. If we have an LLM and we ask a question today with the same data, if we ask the same question 1 month, 1 week, 10 days after, we will get different results. Why? Because the neuron keep creating connectors, and they will give a better result, which is not the case for a database. If you ask a question, for sure, if you did not change the database, you will get the same answer. The limitation of the traditional AI before the LLM, it was processing the input sequentially, and this may forget the beginning when it gets to the end. So this will lack the view of the global picture or the global input. In 2017, a paper was published under the "Attention is all you need." The title of this paper, you can Google it. It's introduced the transformer model and explain how we can benefit from it. We said here in the old version of AI, the input will be sequentially, but here in the new model, the input will be at the same time in a parallel. We'll get the input in parallel, and this will help also to get the bigger picture and understand the relationship between the word and focus on or using the attention mechanism to get back the result. Meanwhile, using the adoption of the GPU helped to run this parallelism. And this is an example of training of the Llama 70 billion. It took 7,000 GPUs and 12 days to train the model. So the model, or it used 10 terabytes or almost 10 terabytes of text, and it cost almost $2 million to train the model. The model is available. We will see later how we can use these models, or the open source models. This is just a classification of the model. Maybe we come back later if we have time. So the transformer model will, as we already know, generate code, generate text, image, video, whatever. It's do summarization. It's keep answering the question, like all the features that we know from ChatGPT. It's coming from the transformer model. How, like the workflow, or how the transformer model work exactly. This is the input. So we have the text, or we have the string as an input. So it's creating the tokens, or tokens is just words, like separating the inputs in words, or technically in the tokens, and converts these tokens to integers, and then put the integer into vector, or into vectors as we saw here, and then we put it in our neural network. So this is the first step. Same like this is the workflow: input, tokenization, and the encoding. Then the transformer neural network. So we put the vectors in our neural network, and then we decode and we extract the output. We get to some strengths and limitation of the technology. Generative AI, as any other technology, to have some strengths and some limitations. We all agree on the strength. I will just name it quickly. So it's conversational. If you keep asking questions, it's keep getting answers, like your generative AI application, whether it's ChatGPT or any other generative AI application. Let's create a content, provide example at an expert level. But the most important is the limitations. It's come with some limitations. The first one is it's trained on the public data. I mean, if you have your own environment, right, and you use an LLM and you want to get customized answer based on your environment, then you will not get it because it's trained on the public data. We will see how we overcome this limitation. It's based, and also the training is based on frozen data, or mean, like if we took OpenAI, for example, the latest update is in October 23. Mean it's 1 year. Like if you ask a question about what happened or something happening in this period, probably like you will not get an answer. The hallucination is also one of the limitations of the LLM. What I mean by hallucination? Sometimes, like you ask a question, it gives you an answer, but the answer doesn't have any sense to the question. Like we all familiar with Logstash. Like if you ask the LLM to generate, I don't know, a pipeline, or to use, like he will generate a pipeline that's not completely like for the input, or for the thing that you ask him to do. So this is also one of the limitations. The cost, we will see that OpenAI, for example, is charged depending on the model that you are using. It will charge you per token. So it's coming with the cost. If you are sending a lot, then you have to pay attention. The privacy, if you like have any compliance or regulatory, a high chance you will not be allowed to interact or to communicate with LLM for any AI service, like OpenAI, for example. We'll jump to our first demo. So the demo is available on online. I will share the link. It's in the GitHub repository of Elastic. We will use Jupyter Notebook, Python. We will run it on Colab from Google, and we will interact from both. We will interact with OpenAI and the Hugging Face. Connect. I hope I don't need to download the packages again. I just try one thing. Perfect. Okay. So if you use before, yeah, if you use before Collab, it's an environment like you have a disk, you have RAM, and you will like instead of run it locally, you will run it on the Collab. What we have here, or the first presentation or the first lab here, we will first set up our environment. I said I will show you. So the repository is here. So if you go to Gen AI Workshop Collab from Elastic, it's available. This is the license. You can use it locally. There is some few changes I did to run it locally or to run it on your local Collab or on your account. But this is mainly the code. So this just to check if the service is up and running. And this we download some packages that we're gonna use later. Also here some functionalities. And here we will start our first test. So we will be interacting with this, or we will use Hugging Face. So we will download an LLM model, and this LLM model will say if this sentence is positive, like the sentiment, if it's positive or negative. As a human being, it's easy to determine like if this is positive or negative. But for machine, it's not something easy to teach. To be able to leverage that, we are going to use a Hugging Face LLM model. So another point that I want to mention here before we jump to something else is when you interact or when you download any LLM, you have to make sure it's legit. So you go to the source. So if it is from Hugging Face, this is the number of download per month. So high possibility is legit. But if it is in like you need to download it from the internet, so here you have to pay attention. Wait, so let me go back. All right, so this is already here. Here it will. Okay, so the first test, we will have two sentences. Like the first one, my dog is so cute. I love him. So for us, this is a positive 100% or 99%, unless if you don't like dogs. The second one is also for us. I don't know if it's clear or no, but it said, "I'm very sorry to inform you that that the tax administration has decided to audit you." So if we run the sample, it will get back the result here. So this is the label, or this is the result and the score down. So if you agree, then the first one is positive. I love my dog, and the second one for the auditing. So I don't like it. So it's a negative. In here in the code you can test it. So you can put whatever you want, and you will get a result. So this is just two examples that I showed, or I used randomly. Now another second. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Before we go to slides, so we talk about the hallucination. It's sometimes we ask in the example that we're gonna see now. We ask about country, right? Fredonia. It doesn't like exist. There is no country with this name. But this is one of the limitations of the LLM. Even it doesn't exist, it gives you an answer, right? So if we run this again, so we gave some countries. So we have UK, France, China, US, Ecuador, and then we have these two, Fredonia and this fake Ethiopia. So here, it gives you the answer. It's okay, everything is good. But look here, like what's this capital? So instead of saying I don't know, or I don't know this or it doesn't exist, I don't have it in my knowledge. No, it's return the capital. So now we have a new country with this capital. Here in the code you can test it, so you can run whatever you want. So the same example, I said give me the capital of this country. So here, new hallucination. He said the capital of Fredonia is Fredonia State, or I don't know. It's the Republic of Fredonia. So this is one of the limitations. We will see how we work, or how we get less hallucination later. Let me know, please, if you have any question, because there is a lot of things to show. That's why I'm going quick. Right, let's now jump to the RAG and prompt engineering. So before I go, so I said here, these limitations, right? To get better results, right, and minimize this limitation. So we have, for example, here, like if the data, or we know the LLM, it's trained on a public data. So the workaround, or to get better results, like we have RAG, and RAG, like we can add our, like let's say we are using Elastic for observability, or we are using it for a cybersecurity use case, we are using it as a SIEM, and you get an alert, or you get a notification, something happened in your infrastructure, and you want to do the investigation, right? You can copy the problem and go to ChatGPT or whatever, and you ask the question, and you will get a general answer. You will not get a customized answer. But with a RAG, we will get a customized answer based on our own requirement. We will see what I mean by that. To understand the RAG, there is this example. So you go to ChatGPT and ask how to cook chicken rice. I never did this. I don't know if someone asked how to cook, but it will give you the recipe, like what you need to be able to cook. But it's midnight, you go to the fridge, but you find only chicken, white rice, and the garlic, right? This is what you have. And in our platform, this is our data, right? So you go back and ask ChatGPT, look, this is what I have. Give me how I cook it, or how I prepare chicken rice with only chicken and white rice and the garlic. Here you will get a customized recipe, or how to cook it based on only what you have. And this is exactly what we're gonna do with Elastic. Elastic will be the bridge between any LLMs or any LLM solution and your own data. So using it for observability, using it for search, using it for security, right? You can interact at any time with Elastic to get customized answer based not on a public data, but plus your own logs, metrics, telemetries, and so on and so forth. This is how it works. So we are here. So we get the notification, we get the alert, we get anything. So here from Elastic, we send the query, right, and we get back the relative or relevant documents, right? This is where the issue happened, like this, like I have this metrics coming from this server, from this cloud provider, like you have the details, and then you send it to the LLM, and from the LLM you get back the answer. Another way, it's fine tuning. This require like to, let's say, train the model. I will not talk about this point. I will jump to the prompt engineering. The other way to get a better result from the LLM is also the prompt engineering. As a definition, it's the art and the science of designing effective prompt to guide the response from the large language model. So in Elastic, we have a predefined prompt that we can use. Like if you use it for observability, the prompt we said, look, you are a senior observability engineer, then you are expert in ESQL or KQL, give me this. Here, like you will provide a guidance for the LLM before you ask the question. Like, look, you are this, like you are an expert in this field, give me the answer based on your experience. Or there is another way to also that helps with the prompt. Sometimes like you can give examples, right? Let's say you want to translate queries like you do in migration from Splunk to Elastic or the inverse. Like you give an example. This is the query, and this is the equivalent. This is from Splunk, and this is the equivalent with Elastic. So you give an example, and the LLM will take this example and give you the result on the next queries or whatever. The anatomy, this is how it works. The first part, you give them here the guidance, or like you are an expert in this field. And here, if you want to give an example, for example, like how to translate from this language to this language, like here you teach the LLM, or you give an example, and then you give the question. And here, it's way better than you just give open question like this. Give me the equivalent. Sometimes like it didn't work. Sometimes give you a result, but it's not as you like. If we compare like the prompt, like when you use the prompt, like you give them like you are an expert in this field, and this is an example, and this is the question. Better than you ask direct question. Another thing, if you don't, or we have this 0 shot versus a few shots in prompting. This is an example. If you type just Turkey in ChatGPT, for example, he will say this is a country crossroad of Europe and Asia. Now, if you go next time, the second prompt, you said France, Paris, and Turkey. You leave it empty. He think like the LLM think that you are looking for a city from Turkey, so he will give you Istanbul. Now the third prompt, that's why we call it a few shot prompting. Sorry, here you give France, Paris, Brazil, Brasilia, and then Turkey, leave it empty. Here give us just a city, but here he will understand that you are looking for a capital, even if you don't ask the capital, but here logically will understand that you are asking for a capital, so he will answer by Ankara, which is the capital of Turkey. Questions? Okay, we continue with our presentation here. Right. Now for the presentation, for the second part, we will communicate with the OpenAI. Right. So the code here, we will interact with the OpenAI, and to be able to execute the rest, you need the API key from OpenAI. It's not free. Like you have to like add your credit card, and the good thing is with OpenAI you can buy credit. Like you buy credit for $10, for example. If you consume it, then it's done. And they will not charge you more until you buy more credit. I will not go through the code, but this is what will happen. So the first, that will make sure that we have a connection. Or here, this is the second one. Here we will check the connection between our environment and OpenAI. So here it said I'm ready. Now this code will hold the conversation between us, or between this code and OpenAI. Now we will be interacting with the OpenAI. If we go to the OpenAI dashboard, we will see that we are sending queries. So for example, if we ask a question, it will send back the result, right? So this like an interaction. Another point about the LLM, or this point that I want to highlight, is the LLM. It's stateless, right? It did not store or save the history of the chat, right? So now, if, for example, I said my name is Mohamed, for example, so here, okay. Now, if I ask him what's my name, here we go. I'm sorry, I don't have. So why in ChatGPT we have the history? Because in ChatGPT we are using the agent. We are not interacting directly with the LLM. That's why we have the history, right? We will see later here in the next. We will see how we store. But before we see how we store the history of our chat, we will talk about the prompt. So here we said before we interact with the OpenAI, we said, look, you are AI or you are an helpful AI named Captain LLM Bird that talk like a pirate in a short response. And we see like here how, let me run it first. Usually take a few seconds. Okay. Oh, sorry. I know why, because this one is still open. Let me exit first, sorry. Okay, let me stop this one again. Or let me stop. What I'm doing here. Okay, let me run again. Perfect. So here it's run the with the prompt, right? So if I ask, for example, what's logstash? So here, so it's give you like what is logstash, but it's like answering something else. So it's said logstash be a tool for ship logs in our, I don't know what's this, cast for teachers. So it's all the time using the prompt here, right, to answer a question. So he will answer the question, but he keep talking about the treasure. So if I said what's Elasticsearch? So he will give an answer. Okay, so it's a search engine, but let's talk about the important thing, which is the treasure or the treasure hunt, right? So we quit, and here we jump to the next one, which is the history, right? So we said it's a stateless. The LLM it's a stateless. Like if we ask on the previous question, as you saw previously, I give my name and ask about my name again. He didn't get back. So, one second. No, I'm doing the same one. Okay, this is creating the chat with memory. So here, run the code. Everything is good. So now, let's run. My name is Mohamed, right? Okay, so it's that's totally mine. Okay, was my name. So here is order slightly. Okay, it's totally mine. So here it's coming with or it's give us the it's remind the name, right? So keep in mind when you interact with the LLM, it's a stateless. You have to store the information somewhere, and here in our code we are creating a memory to save the save the chat. Right, let me exit from here. All right, let's go back. Questions before we jump? Okay, we talk quickly about the privacy and the cost. So the first thing is like the LLM. It's a completely new field. So the OS top 10 for LLM is just the first version. The newest, the first version was 2023. It's introduced all the risk or all the security risk related to LLM. And for the security risk about the LLM, we have two things: securing the LLM itself and the communication with the LLM. For securing the LLM, we have the top 10 OS. Here it's like they explain a lot or give good details about the different risk or security risk about each one, right? And also we have another thing. If you are familiar with MITRE ATT&CK, they have also this framework, which is Atlas Matrix. They give some tactics and techniques how the attackers are targeting here, for example, the prompt or LLM prompt injection, like they give details like how they are doing it, and also if you want to secure it, how to detect or how to secure these tactics and techniques. If we use AI as a service, then we also need to consider it as any other services. We need to make sure that the communication, for example, in this, like we're making sure that the communication between our solution to the LLM are encrypted and there is no man in the middle. So we have to use it or to consider it as any AI service. And this is some, let's say, shared responsibility between us as an organization and any AI service. We need to learn before we start interacting with them how they are handling the data privacy and policy, if they have any auditing monitoring, if they're sharing with the customer any reports, or if they have also certificates like SOC 2 or 27K, any security certificate, and you take it from there. The second part, which is our part as an organization or as the users, we have to train our users. We have to give enough authorization like to interact with you. We will not give all the authorization to all the users to interact with the LLM. This also two important points that are data anonymization and data minimization. We will see in Elasticsearch how we can do it. And finally, we have the auditing and monitoring the communication, and the last point. Also, we will see in the lab how we can deploy a model locally. Like if we cannot interact with the OpenAI or Gemini or any other LLM provider, how we can deploy it locally. Last point is the pricing. Again, if we go to the pricing webpage of OpenAI, you will find the tokens, right? Or you will find the model and how they charge per token. Right, let me go to the. Right. Okay. So to deploy the solution locally, if you want to test it on your environment, it's clear like this. Okay, perfect. So there is LM Studio. It's free. It's cross-platform. You have Windows, Linux, Mac OS. You can download it, or you can download it locally. The first thing to start with is the discover. You come here and you search for your model. Right. So, oops. Perfect. So here, for example, I'm searching for llama, and this 70 billion unstructured or 70 billion. Here it gives you the details, the size, and this is like the red flag. Mean my computer is not compatible with this LLM model. I cannot run it locally, or even if I run it locally, I will face some issues. Me currently, I'm running this model, right? It's Meta. Let me search for it. Meta. 1 second. Let me go back. There we go. So I'm running this one. So as you can see, I have green lights or green flag. Sorry, mean it's compatible, and I can run it locally. So once you download the model, you select it here. I already select the model, or if you. Okay, so it's already here. If you go to the chat here, you can communicate as like ChatGPT, so you can use it here. I'm just using the basic questions. So here you will ask the question, but just a point to keep it in mind, you will not get results as OpenAI, right? But like we saw, or if I will go back to the classification of the models. OpenAI is really high, and this like you will get a response, but not at the same level. That's what I want to say. Now, if you want to interact with Elastic, right? If you want to interact with Elastic with this model, like locally. So here you will find the start. So it will start the service, and the service will be running locally on this. It will be running here on this port. I don't know where it's, yes, this one here. So the service is running here. If we, for example, check, let's just try to open it here. Here we receive. I'll just open the link, so I didn't run any query. So here you will see the interaction. I will jump to Elasticsearch. Here we go. So with Elasticsearch, the first thing, if you are running just a test, it's not. You have to enable the trial license first. It's not with a free version of Elastic. This is the first thing. The second, you come here and you create a connector, right? Here, I will open this connector. So the name of the connector, what's the provider, and what's the URL, and what's the model that I have to use. You close, and here you run the test. I tell them you run the test. Here we go. The test was successfully. Now, if we want to interact with our model. Sorry, so we come here to security or the observability. Here we go. We have our AI assistant. So here. Okay, so I have talked about the minimization and the, what is it? I'll talk about this one. Yeah, how we do data anonymization and minimization. So we can do it from here. So yes, this is from here. So if we come to anonymization, so as you can see here, what's the field that you want to send to the OpenAI or our local LLM? What's the field that you want to send? What's the field that you don't want to send to keep it? So usually we keep, for example, the IP, the username, the sensitive information. We don't share it, right? And like you can anonymize everything, or you can choose a field that you don't want to send it to OpenAI, and you save your configuration. The prompt, like here we have a quick prompt, or you can define your own prompt. So here we have a few from Elastic. So here, for example, alert summarization as an expert. So this is the prompt as an expert in security operation and incident response. Provide a breakdown of the attached alerts and summarize what might mean for my organization. So this is a quick a prompt, plus we give our own data, right, with anonymization and everything, and then we send it to the LLM. And when we get the response, we will get a customized response based on our own environment. So here you save, and here you start. You start the communication with OpenAI. So it will generate the answer for you. I'm running out of time, so that was my presentation. Thanks for attention. QR code for my YouTube channel. I try to share or make videos about Elastic mainly, and AI and security and everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? No? Yeah.
I do have one question. In the first presentation, we saw that the AI can be used, or large models can be used to get insights, or using RAG, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're running, the LLM in your computer, like the example you showed here is more ad hoc. Like you have a page with logs, and then you can send that to the LLM.
Mm-hmm.
What about something like incidents?
Yes. That's a good question. If we get a chance, or if you can see this one, Attack Discover. So this is a really good, or it's a really new thing from Elastic. So here, instead of investigating all the alerts manually, right? Here you start with the 10, 20, until I think 100 alerts, and you will group the alerts and send them to the LLM, and the LLM will summarize the alert. Like we'll group them by user or by VM or by attacker, and he will give you a workflow like how to investigate, what to do, what not to do.
So aggregation happens at Elasticsearch level. I know. Like if you have 1,000 logs.
Not logs. Here I'm talking about the alerts.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you are interacting with Elastic, or if you are interacting with the LLM, you will get only the document that you need to do the investigation. You will not send, like if you have a 10 gigabyte or 20 or petabyte, like you will not send it to LLM. Like you will send only the necessary informations to the LLM, and from the LLM he will get back to you. You're welcome. But if you can see, there is online videos like about the attack discovery. Yep.
Thank you for the presentation. In the last slide, you showed an example of generating maybe an email or a template. In the prompt, it said, well, since there is a risk, and can you explain what it means for my organization? Do you use that really to generate an email that will be sent to the team on the fly, or is it really to just have a template? How would you use that in your workflow?
Which example?
Really the last slide in the presentation.
This one?
You had, I think you had used a prompt.
Okay. Yeah. So for the prompt, so it's helped to redirect the answer, like to get a better answer. Like you said, look, you are an expert in this field, and this is like you give him an example. Like if you want to translate queries, or you want, I don't know, you have templates for your email. Like, look, I write my emails like this. When I ask you, write me an email is about, like, I give you the chart and write me an email in this format, for example.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious how they would use it.
Okay. Questions? Okay. Thank you. I'll invite my friend for the next topic.
Thanks, Mohamed. Thank you.